Good afternoon. Welcome to Harsdale Pet Cemetery on Pet Memorial Day. Um, we have a glorious weather-wise day, and we have an even more beautiful singing concert for you coming up after these few announcements. So thank you for all coming here today. Um, so Pet Memorial Day is a national holiday. It's celebrated on the second Sunday of September every year, and is to pay tribute to our pets who are really our family members. And I don't think of this as a sad day. Some people do. Um, my personal pets, I have nothing but love in my heart for them, and great memories. They gave me so much, and so I think they would want me to be happy today instead of sad. And so that's how I plan on celebrating the day for personally myself. So we're going to start the program with my father. He's the director of the cemetery. His name is Ed Martin also. He's Ed Martin Jr. I'm the third. And he's going to say some words. We're doing a few events here. In addition to the concert, we also have a walking tour, historical tour, and that is what he is going to speak about right now. So I'll turn it over to my dad, Ed Martin Jr.
Thank you. I don't know if Ed mentioned it or not, but I've been here for a little over 50 years, and that's a long time, but an actual great time. And what I want to talk about is the cemetery itself and how, at least I envision it, and everybody else here who works at the cemetery envisions it. The goal is to, a couple of goals. One is to operate this cemetery uh, as much as we can, and maybe better than most human cemeteries, because the pets that come here uh, really are, I think, 100% brought here by people who think of the pets as part of the family. So here they come as pets, just as the human members of the family would be given with dignity and respect, and treated once again as a human would be in the cemetery. Not and cremation too, which came in after obviously as part of the change. Where pets are brought here, and then cremation are treated the same way, just as burial are the same as that they are cremated instead of buried. So briefly, not to go on too long, briefly, I go back to when Ed, who just talked to, and my other son Neil, right out here, with me as a family. My youngest son was not born yet, and our first pet, as a Martin family, not my parents' family, was that the family dog died. And I experienced something that I never really had experienced before. It was shocking in many ways. I couldn't believe it. And Ed went out to walk Ophelia. Dan was with him to walk our other dog, and all of a sudden she died. And my father, at that time, was the monument dealer for the pet cemetery here. He supplied all of the monuments. He wasn't an owner of the cemetery, but he came here every day and created, by far, at that time, almost all of the monuments that are here. Since he's not here anymore, many have not been done him. But he was the one who brought us all here, and just giving my own personal feeling, just knowing that there was a cemetery. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a pet cemetery. We came here and we mourned Ophelia just as we would another family member, and that tradition has been treated. Anybody who works here knows that and feels the same way, that this is a special place. And I'll just leave it at that. And I believe that when I came here with my friend, Pat Grasso, and assumed the responsibilities of the pet cemetery, I knew, and Pat knew, that it was a big responsibility. Changes were necessary, things were changing, not necessarily better or worse, but for different. It was always a great cemetery. And then we were lucky enough to have family and friends who helped us out and came here. And for example, Mr. Gill out there, who's holding up the trailer, has been here, what, Trevor, a year or two after I did. My cousin, my brother-in-law Len was here, and I think if you even talk to Trent, it's a special place for people to work, and a hard place to work, because the people that come here are grieving. I found that sometimes when people come here, they're almost angry. Maybe they're not blaming us, but they're angry. They have a loss. And the goal here, as I tell people, is we want people who leave the cemetery after they've buried the pet to feel a little bit better, not great, but a little bit better than when they first came in here and picked out a plot. So that is the goal of the cemetery, and it is run that way, and it's run like as part of the family. Starting from my father, and then when we came here, I came here with Pat 50 years ago, and one of the days that we actually took over was actually have to push back 2 days, but my son Dan's birthday was around that time, and we waited until we had his birthday party going. So without any more say, so I don't want to take too much time, I thank anybody who's here, the folks who work here, the men and women who work here at the cemetery, do a very difficult job, and a hard job, and a great job here at the pet cemetery. Now, without taking too much time, you will see in those bags that are here, to make things for those folks, because Pet Memorial Day is supposed to be a place where maybe some people can be introduced to a pet cemetery. Some people still don't know there's such a thing as a pet cemetery. So in there, you're going to find a map of sorts, and you may see some flags all around the cemetery, because we want people to walk around the cemetery and see it, and in addition to the map that's there, guiding you to these flags, it'll coordinate. I just want to point out some, and then I'll get out of here and let Mary Thurston talk, who's much more knowledgeable about this than I am. But for example, you'll see when you get it out, there's a number attached to each one. Number 14, the flag, number 14 is out the War Dog Memorial, which could be guided to right by the map itself. You don't even need to talk to anybody, you can go on your own. And what I'm trying to point out in this is that the family atmosphere of the Hartsdale Pet Cemetery and how it's run. So I found out even after I came here that the War Dog Cemetery, the War Dog Memorial, which was put up in 1923. You'll see when you get it what it really represents if you don't know that already. But I want to point out, and it's in there, that the War Dog Memorial was actually designed by a relative of ours. And as a matter of fact, Ed, and the middle name is Caterson. And the War Dog Memorial was designed by Robert Caterson, who actually was the cousin of my great-grandfather. So there's a family relationship there. And we also noticed that although he was a relative, a terrific job was done by a gentleman named Walter Budendorf, who was an instructor at New York City's School of Design, and he's responsible for design, and he also was instrumental in many other designs around the city and other places. Another thing I'd like to point out, when you'll see it in there, number 16, and it's a a design which is called the Shiva Porter plot, and there's a number of beautiful monuments in there set up, and I point that out because that was designed in the 30s, and my dad had a big part in designing it. He used to pick up Mrs. Porter, who was not such an easy person, but designed with Miss Porter. This design, once again, the participation a long time ago by my dad. And then I would go to a monument that you can go to, and I hope you do. That is another reason I talk about this. It's called the Cat Band plot. And it's over, you'll be guided to it, there's a flag there. And I point this out because it was Mr. Selden, Phil Selden, who came up fairly recently by cemetery standards, and he wanted to, he came here to cremate a bed, and he didn't even know there was a cemetery here. And he fell in love with the cemetery and wound up creating a special monument that you'll see, and it's called the monument, or the statues are a band, and the band was called the Cat Band. And the Cat Band was there. They were a wonderful band. This was all fiction that probably would be reflected in a child's story, a story that is good gold to have. That the band represents four cats with a tremendous band, very popular, and very popular. People want to see it. And however, it was a pet that was not a cat. And the little instrument, that the rabbit, was the little pet. And the rabbit was a great musician, wanted to be in the band, and he went to the band leader and said, he performed for him, and he put on a cat's costume so that they would think he was a cat. He performed, and the cat said, well, you're a terrific musician, and sure we want the band, but one thing we found out, are you actually a rabbit and not a cat? And he confessed, and they said, well, you're not getting in. We only want cats here. He said, well, let me play one more song for you and see how you feel. He did, and they gave in. He was such a great musician that they let him into the band. Now, why did Mr. Selden have that way? Why did Mr. Selden have it, that story in mind? And he said, I learned that from walking around the pet cemetery, because when I walk around the cemetery, I can see monuments of all sorts of symbols and things. So, for example, there's no section where cats are buried, or rabbits are buried, or dogs are buried. They're buried wherever their owners pick out a plot and want it. Everybody together. And there are many Stars of Davids and crosses of all different religions here at the cemetery. And he says, that's what I want to dictate to human beings. That don't go on what they look like, but go on what they do and how they are and what their performances are. So I was still very fellow about that. Now I have come to an end, a very special plot, and we call it the lady plot. I'm trying to speak of the word. What's the word that they call it? It was one that Ed participated in directly, and I'm here to tell you what kind of guy he is. And that is, Ed got a call from a lawyer, and I know that, but I needed just another name. Don't worry about it. The name's unimportant. So Ed got the call, and it was about from a lawyer who was representing an estate, and the woman had passed away for the estate. And so the lawyer was doing his job, but he wasn't as interested as maybe the owner would be. But he represented her, and in her will, it was represented that she would like to be buried cremated and then buried at Hartsdale Pet Cemetery. And he said, I'm calling, and so Ed said, well, do you want to come up and pick out a plot? No, you pick out a plot, pick out a nice plot. And Ed did, and the cremains were brought up here. They bought a monument. The lawyer bought a monument for Patricia, that's her name, and everything was done. The lawyer called back about 2 months later and said that there was something missing. That one of the relatives said something about her son being buried here, and he said, "Do you know anything about it?" Well, Ed just didn't let it go and say, "Well, I don't know. What can I tell you?" He went into it and found out that her son had been buried here 3 or 4 years before time. And from reading the monument, it appeared that Patricia actually wanted to be buried at Hartsdale Pet Cemetery, but she wanted to be buried with her son. And the lawyer said, well, what can we do? She's buried in a different place. She's at the cemetery. But they said, well, she wanted to be buried with the son. We have the son's burial, and it's on the plot. Why don't we remove her remains there? Lawyer said, well, we're not going to pay for that. And they said, I didn't ask you to get paid. He said, do you mind if we just move it ourselves? And then the mother will be with the son in the same plot, which is what she wanted to. So money didn't come into anything, but Ed, believe me, did a very special thing by doing what this woman wanted in the first place. So I say, give a cheer to Ed. That's what we like to do. And the last thing is number 12, and it's called the Green Wicket. And 2 things go here. The person we're going to talk to next, Mary Thurston, was kind enough, who is a historian of the cemetery, who came up with a poem. Is that right, Mary? A poem?
A friend of mine in England sent it to me.
So we got an English lady sending something over to us, and it's kind of like we look at it, Mary and I look at it, and a lot of people here look at it as, it's like the Rainbow Bridge, only it's Hartsdale's version of the Rainbow Bridge. And it's a special monument, and it's on the Martin grave, where my parents who were cremated are buried there, and my wife Jenny's relatives, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, are also buried there. So it's the Martin plot, but it's also I picked out that area because I thought that all 4 of them would like this. I'll let you read the Green Wicket. It's on the Martin plot, if you like, and it's to me it's a special monument, and one that I think many others of you will like. And without further ado, let me introduce Mary Thurston, who is a historian of the plot, historian of the cemetery, and is very, very diligent about the history of the plot. And we found out, I and Pat Grosso and the early Trevor found out that, the cemetery started in 1896, so they've been burying for a long time. And not everybody provided for the care of their plot forever. Many do, but some don't. So there are monuments on the plot which may have tumbled over, or you can't read anymore, or whatever. So the cemetery makes every effort to take care of those monuments, to bring them up to the standard of all of the rest of them, and it's a tough job to do. But with that note, let me introduce Mary Thurston, the historian of the cemetery. One other thing. The cemetery is the only pet cemetery that is on the United States historical list of historical places, and also the state list of historical places. No other pet cemeteries have been there. And I can tell you this is honest. You may think, okay, The cemetery is beautiful, and that's why it's there, and perhaps that's the standard that should be there. But I can tell you that just that is a small part of it. You have to write all of the history. You have to explain why academically the cemetery should be listed on these. No way could I have done it. I didn't do anything, so I said, not without the help of Mary. Mary did the whole thing, which I would say is just as difficult and maybe more difficult than a PhD dissertation. So without further ado, hi Mary.
Hi. It took a lot of tequila to get through that application for the National Register, I will tell you. I wrote down what I wanted to say to keep me on point and get you to the music as quickly as possible. I wanted to tell you a little bit about what I do and the historical aspect of the property and what the Heritage Fund is all about, for which this concert is a benefit today. So let me just read my script, and then we'll get to the music. Of all the pet cemeteries, Hartsdale is unique. It was the first to be modeled after cemeteries catering to people in a time when grieving the loss of a pet, let alone burying one, was often ridiculed and condemned. But Hartsdale took the risk that there were just as many, if not more, people who would welcome the news of a secure and tranquil place where they could lay their pets to rest without fear of judgment or reprisal. It's now 128 years into this great endeavor, and today there are 500 pet cemeteries nationwide and more than 800 throughout the world. And all of them, either directly or indirectly, have drawn inspiration from this place. Hartsdale is home to tributes in marble, granite, and bronze from every period between the Gilded Age and the Space Age, and they represent animals and people from every walk of life and every corner of the globe. In fact, if Hartsdale was a museum, it would be the metropolitan of all pet cemeteries. A collection as special as ours calls for a particular regimen of care to ensure it's still here and in good condition for future generations to appreciate and learn from. For this reason, in 2011, when Hartsdale got recognized as a historic site of national prominence, we created the Heritage Fund. This fund, which is entirely supported by voluntary donations, is the only way we can meet the challenge of protecting Hartsdale's many treasures. Excuse me while I turn my page. Thanks to the fund, when I come up here every year from my home in Texas, I know I'll have the necessary tools and supplies to stabilize, clean, and repair pretty much anything that's ailing these sweet old headstones. And with the help of Hartsdale's valiant ground crew, I can even get up a ladder to give Mr. War Dog his annual checkup. The Heritage Fund has also enabled us to tackle some of the bigger repairs to the property itself, such as the original horse and carriage gate through which the first plot holders came, and the original footpaths that they once walked. We were even able to bring in an expert in three-dimensional photography to document the War Dog Memorial and other prized artworks as a precaution if they are ever damaged or lost. People sometimes ask me what's the most valuable asset in Hartsdale. Is it the Walsh Mausoleum? Is it Babe's beautiful likeness? Is it the heroic war dog? But the truth is, the most valuable asset has been and always will be you, the plot holders. You and the generation before you are what's propelled this place from an uncertain little graveyard to a vibrant community, creating a family that understands the pain of losing an animal as well as the joy for the times we've shared with them. May this Memorial Day continue to strengthen that kinship we feel for one another and for this special place. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting me, coming all the way from Texas and making me feel so welcome here. I love you all.
And we love you too, Mary. and there'll definitely be some tequila later for you. So just about the, we're going to get onto the concert very quickly. Just about the tour, if you are interested in doing the tour, there are bags on the table up here. There's maps inside the bags, and they will guide you to where the flags are, and in turn there are also explanations of each of the monuments that you'll be visiting today of historical significance. Okay. Before I close, I want to, as you heard when my dad was speaking before, this is his 50th year being here. So, because he would never tell you this himself, I feel the need I have to tell you a little about him. So, on April 17th, 1974, my dad and his lifelong friend / business partner, Pat Grosso, became the 4th owners of America's first pet cemetery. The two friends enlisted the help of their family to carry on the tradition set by their predecessors. Under their stewardship, Hartsdale offered new services such as cremation. They developed new land for burial and computerized 100 years of manual records. After Pat's retirement, and with a lot of help from our historian Mary, my father successfully filed applications to have Hartsdale added to the National Register of Historic Places, the New York Register of Historical Places, and the New York State Historic Business Preservation Registry. In addition, Hartsdale became a certified national wildlife habitat during his tenure. Recognizing that such distinction brought with it an elevated responsibility to care for the cemetery's historic features that was not covered by the general fund, my father established the Heritage Fund, which earmarks donations for the restoration and preservation of the cemetery's historic features, such as the historic features, as well as the beautification and enhancement of its natural landscape. In 2011, he successfully defended the rights of people to have their cremated remains rest with their pets when the practice was challenged by the New York State Division of Human Cemeteries. And he also published a historical book about Hartsdale Pet Cemetery. Ever humble about the importance of his contributions, my father says, Hartsdale Pet Cemetery was established by plot holders for plot holders as an act of compassion, kindness, and love to help alleviate the heavy grief we feel when we lose a beloved family member, whether they are animal or human. The primary responsible of the person who managed these beautiful, historic, and sacred grounds has been, and always will be, to protect the interests of the plot holder by leading with the same compassion, kindness, and love as the founders. Congratulations, Dad, and thank you for your service. Okay, just a few last announcements here. I want to thank Trevor and our staff, Patrick, Aiden, and Carlos, for making the grounds look as beautiful as they look today. Thank you to all the plot holders who contribute to, who continue to support us, whether that's through the Heritage Fund or even having flowers put on their plot. The more people that have flowers on their plot, the more beautiful the cemetery looks. If some people just happened to come here for a visit today, did not know about the event we're having, if that is the case, you can always sign up for our e-alerts. We do send out mailers, we send out email blasts, and whenever we have events like this, we want to let you know that we're having them. So feel free to go onto our e-alerts and register. And then that is really all I have. I want to mostly now get to the band and thank Angelina Guay and her family for making this day possible. They are new plot holders. They buried their pet, I think, last year. And Angelina approached me and asked if we could have a concert here. And we've never done that before. We've never had a concert here before. And it sounded like a very novel idea. I love music. I play music myself, and so that was a very appealing thing to me. And we made the plan in the early spring and into the summer. And here we are today. I've heard the band practicing, and it's just the most beautiful music I've heard. So I'm going to introduce Angelina. She's going to say a few words, and then we're going to get right on with the music. So thank you all again for coming today.
Hello all, my name is Angelina Kue. I'm the organizer of this event, and I don't really have a script, so I'm just gonna say a few stuff, but oh, I'm gonna introduce myself first. Wait, so I'm 15 and I am a sophomore in high school, and I have a really loving family, so I'm really grateful for that. I have a dog, a cat, and 9 chickens, so that's a lot to take care of, but yeah. And also, we have brought our dog today. Her name's Sandy, and I think she's gonna be an actor later during the song. So, yeah, but today is not about them. They have all the attention in the world, like at some other time, but today is Pet Memorial Day, and if you don't know what it's like to lose a pet, it's just the hardest thing in the world. So today, I'm sorry. Today is for them. It's for the pets that we love. So I hope you enjoy. Yeah, thank you.
We love you, Angelina.
Yeah, and we have a wonderful band. Sorry, I'm too emotional right now to introduce them, but they can introduce themselves later on. But, yeah, I think we can start now. Yeah, so we'll start with Dana, and yeah, enjoy the show.
Thank you, Angelina. All right, let's kick off this concert. A friendly face, the kind of face that melts you with a grin. The kind of eyes that welcome you the minute you walk in. A tender glance you simply can't refuse. It's times like this a girl could use a doll. He listens when you tell him things. There's nothing you can't say. And unlike certain people, you can teach him how to stay. And if the world is giving you the blues, he cheers you up by chewing up the news. It's things like that that make you choose a dog. Other people need romance, dancing, playing around. Other people need constant fun. Well, I'm not one. I have my feet on the ground. Give me a quiet night, a stack of books, a tuna melt on rye, a simple walk together underneath the starry sky, and suddenly the night is something rare. And all because there's someone special there who's gazing at the view, his head upon your shoe. It's things like that that make you choose a dog. Thank you.
What a beautiful day. And I'm going to ask the supporting player to come and take his place up here. We'll see. Well, this is sort of an audition to see if Sandy likes being on stage, and I'll stay right there. Oh, we're going to come right at the beginning. She's going to. Okay. Yes. Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger. You may see a stranger across a crowded room, and somehow you know even then, that somewhere you'll see her again and again. Some enchanted evening, someone may be barking. You may hear her barking across a crowded room. And night after night, as strange as it feels, the sound of her barking will sing in your dreams. Fools give you reasons wise men never try. Fools give you reasons wise men never try. Some enchanted evening, when you find your true love, when you feel her call you across a crowded room, then fly to her side and make her your own, or all through your life you may dream all alone. Once you have found them, never let them go. Once you have found them, never let them go. Thank you, Sandy. I think she did really good. She didn't pull focus too much, no. Okay, you're cast, right. All right. This next tune is from a Disney cartoon. Lady and the Tramp. Yeah. And we welcome all of you to think about your furry and feathered friends who are no longer here, or also friends that are no longer here, and invite you later in the song, and I'll tell you when, to gently say their name out loud, or This is about our friends that are no longer here with us. This is the night, it's a wonderful night, and we call it Bella Notte. Look at the skies, they have stars in their eyes on this lovely Bella Notte. So take the love of your loved one. You'll need it about this time to keep from falling like a star when you make that dizzy climb. For this is the night, and the heavens are right on this lovely Bella Notte. Now, gently remember your pets. You want to say their name out loud during this musical interlude? Feel free to. This is the night, and the heavens are right on this lovely Bella Notte. If ever I would leave you, it couldn't be in summer. Seeing you in summer, I never could go. Your hair streaked with sunlight, your lips red as flame, your face with a luster that puts gold to shame. And if I'd ever leave you, it couldn't be in autumn. Seeing how in autumn I never could go. I've seen how you struggle when fall nips the air. I've known you in autumn, and I must be there. Or could I leave you running merrily through the snow? Or on a wintry evening when you catch the fire's glow? But if I'd ever leave you, it couldn't be in springtime. Seeing how in spring I bewitched by you so. Oh no, not in springtime, summer, winter, or fall. Oh, never could I leave you,
couldn't be in springtime. Seeing how in spring I'm bewitched by your song. Oh no, not in springtime, summer, winter, or fall. No, never could I leave you at all.
That's such a beautiful song, Bill. That's from Camelot, isn't it?
I think it is, yes, and that was a king and a queen.
I came prepared.
Oh,
How's this? Thank you. Yes, Queen. Thank you. And King? And I was always wondering, what would King Arthur and Guinevere do if they lost a pet? I bet they would wonder, wouldn't they? They would wonder, what do the simple folk do to help them escape when they're blue? The shepherd who is ailing, the milkmaid who is glum, the cobbler who is wailing from nailing his thumb. When they're beset and besieged, the folk not noblesse me obliged. However do they manage to shed their weary lot? Or what do simple folk do? We do not.
I have been informed by those who know them well. They find relief in a clever sort of way. When they're sorely pressed, they whistle for a spell, and whistling seems to brighten up their day. And that's what simple folk do, so they say.
They whistle.
So they say.
is that working? It's not working.
What else do the simple folk do to perk up the heart and get through? The wee folk and the grown folk who wander to and fro have ways to know their own folk. We thrown folk don't know. When all the doldrums begin, what keeps each of them in their skin? What ancient native custom provides a needed glow? Or what do simple folk do? Do you know?
Once upon the road I came upon a lad, singing in a voice 3 times his size. When I asked him why, he told me he was sad, and singing always made his spirits rise. And that's what simple folk do, I surmise.
They sing.
I surmise.
Arise, my love, arise, my love. Apollo's lighting the skies, my love. The meadows shine with columbine, and daffodils blossom away.
If Venus called to one and all, and taste delight while you may. The world is bright, and all is right, and life is merry and
This is
gay.
not working either. What else do the simple folk do? They must have a system or two. They obviously outshine us at turning tears to mirth. The trick, so Royal Highness is minus from birth. What then, I wonder, do they to keep all the goblins away? They have some tribal sorcery you haven't mentioned yet. Oh, what do simple folk do to forget?
Once I'm told they dance a fiery dance, and whirled they are completely uncontrolled. Soon the mind is blank, and all are in a trance, a violent trance astounding to behold. And that's what simple folk do, so I'm told.
I brought my dancing shoes. Let's give this a try.
Oh, here we go. Where'd she go?
I don't think this is working either. What else do the simple folk do to help them escape when they're blue?
They sit around and wonder what royal folk do, and that's what simple folk do.
Really?
I have it on the best authority.
Yes, that's what simple folk do.
This is one of my mom's favorite songs, and she said for her it's about what it was like to be a mom for the first time. And I don't have any kids, but I have a dog. Her name's Gertrude, and she's a Maltipoo. And she has just brought so much joy into my life for something that's 5 pounds. And so this is for Gertrude. There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky,
So this next song is one of my favorite songs of all times, and so when they asked me to sing here, I always sort of want to do this whenever I get a chance. And it asks a simple question: what is life without a song? Without a song, the day would never end. Without a song, the road would never bend. When things go wrong, a man ain't got a friend. Without a song, that field of corn would never see a plow. That field of corn would be deserted now. A man is born, but he's no good no how. Without a song, I got my troubles and woe, and sure as I know, the joy that will roll, I'll get along as the sun is strong in my soul. I'll never know what makes the rain to fall. I'll never know what makes the grass so tall. I only know there ain't no love at all without a Need these back on for this one.
You've changed, you're daring, you're different in the wood. More sure, more sharing, you're blossoming in the wood. If you could see, you're not the man who started, and much more open-hearted than I knew you to be.
It takes two. I thought one was enough. It's not true. It takes two of us to came through. When the journey was rough, it took you. It took two of us. It takes care. It takes patience and prayer and despair to change. Though you swear to change, who can tell if you do? It takes two.
You've changed, you're thriving, there's something about the wood. Not just surviving, you're blossoming in the wood. At home, I'd fear we'd stay the same forever, and then out here, you're passionate, you're inconsiderate.
It takes one to begin, but then once you begun, it takes two of you, it's no fun. But you need what is need you can do. When there's two of you, if I dare, it's because I'm becoming aware of us as a pair of us, each accepting a share of what's there. where changes last. Beyond woods, beyond wishes and slippers and hoods. Just the two of us beyond lies. Safe at home with our beautiful prize. Just a few of us, it takes trust. It takes just a bit more and we're done. We want four, we had none, we got three. We need one, it takes two.
Thank you for having us out. Before I begin this next song, I would like to take a moment to honor the pets that we so lovingly think of for their loyalty and unconditional love. And something else I wanted to bring up for you guys to think about when I sing this next song is animals are really amazing. They can really sense energies in us, and I know I never had my own pet, but there were pets in my sister's families, and they healed me in ways that I didn't even realize I needed to be healed. And I want you to think of your loved one right now and think about ways they healed you while I sing this next song. No one here to guide you. Now you're on your own. Only me beside you. Still you're not alone. No one is alone. Truly, no one is alone. Sometimes loved ones leave you halfway through the wood. Do not let it grieve you. No one leaves for good. We are not alone. No one is alone. People make mistakes. Fathers, mothers, people make mistakes. Holding to their own. Thinking they're alone. Honor their mistakes. Everybody makes one another's terrible mistakes. Witches can be right. Giants can be good. You decide what's right. You decide what's good. Just remember someone is on your side. Look at them right now. Someone else is not. While you're seeing your side, maybe we forgot they are not alone. No one is alone. Hard to see the light now. Just don't let it go. Things will be all right now. We can make it so. Someone is on your side. No one is alone. When you walk through a storm, keep your head up high and don't
Jenna, I want you to stay right down there. Now, the last time I was on Broadway was in Waitress. And there was a character named Jenna. And you remind me a lot of her, especially with this song. You gotta keep your chin up. And this husband of yours, who keeps telling you you're not good any good, and pushing you down, you gotta move on past that. You work at the diner with me, Jenna, and I treasure that. And I want you to go on, and I want you to think about your life and how you spend it. Take it from an old man. Time's just sad slipping past. We want to hold it in our hands, but no one ever sees what falls through the cracks. Take it from an old man. My mistakes have made me, and I am what I am. And though I don't believe in silver linings, I believe there's something in you. Something good is trying to break through. You might have to fight the good fight. And if you think you can't, you can. Take it from an old man. Take it from an old man. The days don't stretch any longer. They've left tracks upon my skin, and I reckon made me stronger. But I believe there's something in you. Something you should be seeing to. Bet it all on yourself at least one time. 'Cause honey, win or lose, it's one hell of a ride. And if you lack the strength of your own, honey, hold out your hands and take it from an old man. Woo!
Angelina, sing One Comes, the Sun Comes Out Tomorrow. The sun comes out tomorrow, sing it. You know the words.
I'll sing my song first.
Okay.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Okay, let's stop. Sorry. Okay. Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me. Don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm goodbye, remember me. Don't let it make you cry, for even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me. Though I have to travel far, remember me. Each time you hear a sad guitar, know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember.
I've heard it said that people, pets, come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and if we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime, so let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, you'll know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a sea drop by skyward in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a as it passes the sky, a wind off, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway in the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. Because I knew you, because I knew you, because I
I'd like to introduce you to the band and to us singers. I'm going to ask the band to say their name nice and loud, and then we'll follow suit.
My name is Mark.
You can say the whole name. You can say your...
Sorry, Mark Collette. Thank you very much. I'm Pat Oberstadt.
I'm Valeria Fernandez.
I'm Bill Nolte.
I'm Daniel Klein.
Dana Graber. And I'm Taylor Ray, and thank you so much for sharing this day with us. It's just been an honor and a privilege for all of us. We've got one more song here before, and I would just like to also point out Angelina Nguyen. Please give Angelina a round of applause. She's giving us the mic, so yes, thank you for coming out today, and we're going to leave you with one more song. And I am on my way before another sunrise wakes me,
Before another night is gone, I'll find out where that highway takes me. You know I've got to travel on. Let my troubles all behind me. Back there where I climbed on more. Jordan River's where you'll find me. It's wide to wide to wide to far. And then I'm rolling along. I'll carry with me promises that can't go wrong.
as I travel
As I
on.
travel on,
As I travel on my way.
Jordan knows where you'll find me. It's time but not too wise to fall. As I go, and as I go, I carry with me
Promises that can't go wrong as I travel on.
as I travel on. My
Everyone, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was so good. I feel like, on behalf of everybody that's here, that all of you touched our souls today. And thank you for serenading the pets and making this a joyful day. You guys were unbelievable. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out today.
Vente, vente. Ay, ay, ay. Vente. Dada, dada. Dada, dada. Dada, dada.